Last time we left off, we were in Mazatlan, Mexico.
Golly, I am so sweaty.
Oh yeah, and if you're new around here, we're Chris and Sarah, and we're currently driving the Pan American Highway with our dog Kramer. And I use the term Pan American Highway loosely because truthfully, we're just sort of zigzagging and going anywhere we want. And currently, we're in Mexico heading south towards Argentina. We'll get there one day. It's a 7-hour drive to Mexico's second largest city, Guadalajara. For us, it's going to take a couple of days to get there because our truck moves very slowly.
Cause this about to go down like a piñata, ta 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 ta, ta 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 ta. Yeah. Cause this about to go down like a piñata, ta 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 ta, ta 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 ta. Yeah.
All right, you're clear.
Not sure that's how it's done, but good stuff. Gosh, it's hard to see at night. I don't like this.
There are cones set up. Okay, just be careful of the cones. Careful of the building.
I see it. Could you just be proud of me for
Yeah,
one
I'm very proud.
second?
No, I'm just very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. I think this is great.
I think I just need a sip of 1 second. It's not funny. It hurt. That hurt, Kramer.
I think I need to go change my pants.
So this is the fastest restaurant in the world, or so we heard. Apparently, they set the Guinness World Record for how fast you receive your food at the table. Hola! We have an audience. Alright, so this is the fastest restaurant in the world. Apparently it takes an average of 13.4 seconds to get your food. We're gonna leave it on. We have an audience right now. I want to see how fast it is, but they already brought us. Like, we sat down, and while we were filming, she already brought us beans and salsas and everything else. So we're gonna pick out some food. They're known for one dish.
There's medium juice, small size, medium size, and large size.
Okay.
Spicy or not spicy.
Alright, we have the timer running, and
¿Qué tal? Muy buenas tardes. Una disculpa la tardanza. ¿Dos carnes medianas?
just gracias.
A las órdenes, buen provecho. Gracias.
How do you do this? It's so fast. Gracias.
You're welcome.
How do we eat this?
We were just watching a replay of the footage of them bringing the food, and we didn't notice him running behind. It's like instant replay, you know? We should draw something over it.
That was so fast. Literally, I said, Chris, start the clock, and they already had our dinner over to us. It's amazing. How long was that? That was like literally 5 seconds.
5 seconds of that. And in honor of this fast food restaurant, I'm gonna shoot all of this in slow-mo.
What it is it translates to meat soup, I think, right? Meat and soup.
And juice.
Meat and juice, yeah. So it's like this brothy, beany, meaty dish, and then they serve it with onion and lime and cilantro, just like a lot of other dishes in Mexico. There's some salsa here, there's beans, and then they give you garlic and tortillas. And I asked him, I was like, how do you eat this? And he said, oh, get the tortilla, just put everything in it, it's a mess, eat it. I said, okay, we got a Corona because getting here was a little dicey. It's so risky. That's got good flavor. You can order it spicy or not spicy. We said spicy, not overwhelming. It's got a kick. I like a good kick in my dishes in Mexico.
This meat and juice is what they call it. It's very good. You have to like eat it over the bowl because it's so juicy that the juice just kind of comes out of the tortilla, which you know, it's not that, it's like watching ramen fall from your mouth a little bit. But with that said, it's really good. If every place was this efficient and quick, think how many things we would get done.
Could there be
town actually used to be its own little town, but since Guadalajara has grown to be the second largest city in Mexico, it has sort of just absorbed into Guadalajara. It's sort of like a suburb of it now, but it is its own Pueblo Magico. And I don't know if you've heard us talk about that. If you're new around here, maybe you haven't, but Pueblo Magico is something that Mexico has. It's like these designated towns, and they're all very unique, very culturally significant. They're very beautiful. So this is a Pueblo Magico. It used to be its own town. Now it's just a part of Guadalajara, but they have remained its own little thing, and you kind of feel its own little township, even though you are surrounded by suburbs of Guadalajara here. So it's definitely worth a visit. It is not far from, how long did it take us to get from Centro to here? Like what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? It's not too bad. So you can tell why this town has been designated a Pueblo Magico. It is charming, it is historic. I did read that one of the things that makes it most unique, and one thing that kind of characterizes like a Pueblo Magico, is its history of pottery. So you got your glasses down like that. Let's show them what I'm looking at.
Look, there's a lot of behind the scenes that happens to make these videos possible. But like Sarah said, you can tell why this town's so special, and it's really interesting that there's a lot of tourists here, but it's a lot of local, national tourists. A lot of local Mexicans come here. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful town. It's so hot today that instead of coffee, I opted for a chocolate frappe.
Never in our marriage have we ever ordered.
Never. I just said chocolate frappe, and I'm like, you know what? I want a chocolate milkshake right now. That sounds so good.
So I'm in a chocolate mood today, and I said, hey, I want this chocolate cake. I thought it was going to be a little slice.
Nope. It's got like a bourbony, caramelly sauce. It almost tastes like espresso too, but I don't think it's espresso. I think it's probably just the combination of like caramel and chocolate that's giving me that espresso feel. It's pretty good. Chris, I approve of your indulgence today.
Have you ever wondered where the largest bar in Mexico is? Well, we found it, and we're not exaggerating. It's a hot day.
Largest bar in Mexico, which personally, that's great. We're not huge bar goers, but one thing that Guadalajara is really known for is tequila, because the town of Tequila is about 45 minutes outside of the city. It's sort of, I shouldn't say it's obligatory to try tequila. It's fine if you don't drink. We're not huge drinkers, but while we're here, it's 95 degrees. It's really hot. We thought today might be the day to indulge in a margarita, because when in Guadalajara, even though the margarita is not actually from here, but it uses tequila, and that's about as close as I'm getting to trying tequila as a margarita. So this place is known as the largest bar in Mexico, which is fine. It's actually more like a bunch of little bars that are kind of around this one courtyard. It kind of takes up like I feel like it's a whole block, is it not? It's a huge area. But they have mariachi playing in the middle of the gazebo. We're doing this talking head as the mariachi bands are switching out. It's very loud. It's very fun. We are some of the only international tourists here, it appears. Most of them are national tourists, and they're having the time of their lives. Everybody knows the songs. We do not. So it's fun. It's a fun environment. It's nice to get out of the sun for a little bit, enjoy the shade, and a margarita. Guadalajara is the second largest city in Mexico, only after Mexico City. So needless to say, the air is a little bit pollution-y right now. It doesn't get a lot of rain to kind of clean the air out. And we needed a little bit of nature. So we decided to come to this botanical gardens. It's a bit out of like the main area that a lot of tourists visit in Guadalajara, Centro Americano. This is further to the west. It's in a pretty affluent area from what I can tell, but this garden is massive. It's free to visit. You do have to pay for parking at some of the parking lots, but it's cheap. I think it was like 20 pesos. A lot of people working out. I've seen a lot of like grandparent ages. They were leaving with their yoga mats. They have been doing, I guess, morning yoga together, little couples, and some runners and people jogging with their baby strollers. But I feel like we both just kind of needed a moment of quiet and green and fresh air because we like Guadalajara a lot, but it's a lot, especially when we spent the last like 5 weeks in Baja that was more undeveloped, less developed than this. We got used to quiet and small, and now we're back in the city, which we love. Need some rest.
We always love finding these little sanctuaries in the middle of a chaotic hustle and bustle. It's always like a nice reminder to reset, especially when you're driving in a big city like this. For us, it has been a little hectic. So this has definitely been the largest city outside the US that we've driven the truck in, and just getting used to normal traffic patterns and what's normal and what's not normal. It's nice to come here and take a breath, breathe some of the pines.
Horses they run and pound the earth like thunder. The courses they're on are crushed in their wake. The force of the sun pounds the earth asunder. The torch of her strength none can escape. Like the hammer in the heart of the maker. The hammering, hammering heart, the hammering heart of the maker. The hammering, hammering heart.
Sarah's birding right now.
I know I'm in my 30s when I start birding. So I went on a girls trip with one of my friends back in October, and she has gotten into birding in the sense that she has this app, and you can have it listen to a bird and then it'll identify it, so you can kind of learn about different birds all over the world, which is really cool. But you have to download the map. So I downloaded the map of all of Mexico, and I'm just identifying unique birds. I'm really excited to get to Costa Rica and see what kind of birds we get down there. But this is my new hobby, I guess. I'm a birder. I'm not buying binoculars and hitting the trail anytime soon, but this is fun.
Sarah and I were just saying that we wish that we would have visited this park sooner, because we've been here in the city for a little bit, and this is nice. The only downfall is that they don't allow dogs, because Kramer would enjoy this, but he would probably enjoy the squirrels a little more.
our last day in Guadalajara. We just went for a run again at the Botanical Gardens, and on our way out of town, on to the next stop, we wanted to stop and get a Tortas Ahogado. It's a sandwich, and it's a sandwich that they cover in sauce or broth or something. We're gonna find out exactly, but this area is known for it. Apparently, they say the water in Guadalajara plus the elevation makes the perfect bread. It's crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, and this sandwich is one thing the city's known for. It's a pretty good lunch.
It's sort of like that New York pizza sort of thing. You know how the water in New York makes the pizza taste better? Well, apparently that's true for here, but not about pizza, but about these sandwiches.
Okay, this place came most recommended by a local we talked to. We're gonna go to this one shop. This is how they serve it. Got the crusty bread, the soft interior, and then he scooped a ton of soupy broth on it. It smells amazing. It's good. It's really good. Oh, it's spicy. Is it carnitas? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Carnitas. Okay, so pork. Oh my gosh. You need to try it. It's really good.
It's always a good sign when you find a place that's literally a hole in the wall, because you could go right past it and miss it. A hole in the wall is a point of endearment because that place was so good. It was one of the best sandwiches we've ever had here.
Just a really good sandwich. I am very full now, but oh my goodness. I had a little bit of a kick. I feel like back in America, a lot of Americans think that all Mexican food is really spicy, and it's not, but that had more of a kick than what a lot of Mexican foods had, in my opinion. But it was so good. It reminded me of the sandwich, the Italian beef sandwich that we had in Chicago, where it's like a wet sandwich, so they dip it in broth and it's got meat. This one was pork, not beef, but it had onions and I believe it was cabbage on it, and then they had the broth. So good.
Think of it like the bear, the Mexican bear.
The hardest area to get out and explore since we've been in Guadalajara, because parking is hard. It's very difficult in a tall rig because a lot of the places to park are parking garages, and usually we would take public transit, but to leave our truck somewhere, it just would be really far out of town. Anyway, you don't need to know all that. Just know that we have finally made it to Centro, which is a historic area in Guadalajara, and I think it's definitely top 3 neighborhoods we were told to check out. Pretty much we hit up all 3 top neighborhoods, but this is one of the places that people say, you've got to go. There's so much history, there's so much beauty, architecture. It's beautiful. And I'm glad we finally made it down here. I was kind of worried that we were going to leave and not have made it. We did. And we're here. And we're going to be here for Golden Hour, which is my favorite.
One thing that we're trying to figure out and navigate in this truck is major cities. And this is our first major city internationally that we've hit inside the truck.
Yeah, it is.
And it's been a learning curve.
It hasn't been too bad. Not too bad.
No.
It's been hard to find camping. Like, all the camping's really far out of town.
Yeah.
So it's made coming back and forth really difficult.
And once you get in town, it's okay. Like, you can maneuver it, but it's still a lot of people, a lot of walking, which we don't mind, but it's just, you're trying to get used to it. And this is just a part of the journey.
Well, the other part is that not everything's dog friendly, and it's also really hot. And so we can't leave the truck. We can't leave Kramer in the truck right now because it's so hot. It's just been really difficult. But we knew that. We knew that coming into it. So it's just been like little chunks at a time. So instead of having like a full day of exploring, it's been a couple hours here, a couple hours there.
And the way the weather is here, most everybody starts early in the morning, and later in the afternoon, evening is when everything comes alive.
It's like Phoenix.
It's like Phoenix. And in the middle of the day, nobody is out. It is
just the heat of the day. Finally, there's a breeze. It's been real still today.
Man.
But it's a dry heat. We can't complain about that.
No.
Just get the shade. It feels amazing. But that sun is strong. I didn't know UV rays could go over a 10. I thought, like, when you looked, it was like on a scale of 1 to 10. But then I looked at my app the other day, and the UV rays were a 14. I didn't know that until this week, that it can get stronger than a 10.
So Guadalajara is a beautiful town, beautiful city, mind you, massive city, second biggest city in Mexico.
It's manageable though for me.
It is.
It doesn't even come close to comparing to how big Mexico City is.
No.
Mexico City is mammoth. It's huge.
We've enjoyed our time here, but I think we're ready to venture outside the city to a little slower pace.
A little more nature again.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Our time in Guadalajara was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed all the food, the people, the neighborhoods, and everything else that comes with a major city. But truthfully, we experienced a little bit of culture shock. It was the first time we had been in a major city in months, and it was a lot of people, a lot of smog, a lot of noise, a lot of everything. But we also love all of that too. It was nice to get our senses awake and experiencing a different side of Mexico. We've been in the remote areas of Baja and on the Pacific coast for the last couple of months. Being in Guadalajara woke us up, and it made us excited to see more of the cities that await us in this country. So let's go.
For behind the scenes and extra content, you can head on over to our Patreon community. Otherwise, be sure to follow on Instagram or like and subscribe here. It really helps creators like us.